I think a lot of us were conditioned to always put the needs, the wants, and desires of everyone else in front of our own, right? The moment we begin to prioritize ourselves, the moment we begin to put ourselves first, we're labeled as selfish, we're labeled as heartless, we're labeled as a narcissist, we're labeled as a bad guy, right? And so we resort to placing ourselves on the back burner and placing the needs and the wants and the desires of everyone else in front of our own. And the thing that I want to say to you guys is that you don't have to sacrifice your happiness for the appeasement of other people. You do not need to put yourself on the back burner to make everyone else happy. See, here's the thing. Life is ultimately about you. Life is about your elevation. Life is about your expansion. Life is about rediscovering that happiness and that peace and that joy that exists and dwells within you. Now, you'll never discover that happiness and that peace by prioritizing everyone else and neglecting yourself. And the paradox of it all is that once you cultivate that happiness, once you cultivate that inner joy and that inner peace, you also come to the realization that life is also not about you. And what I mean by that is that you begin to realize that you are connected to everyone else. You are one with everyone else. And that joy that you've cultivated for yourself, you can begin to share that with the world. You can become the source for you, but then you can also pour into other people as well. But you'll never get to that place in which you become that source unless you put yourself first. See, I want you guys to imagine two scenarios, right? Or two situations. Imagine you that is broken, the you that is insecure, the you that is unhappy, the you that is unfulfilled. Imagine that you, which you might be in the moment. Imagine you trying to, help other people, or you trying to pour into other people from that place of brokenness. Right? Now then, I want you to imagine you that is fulfilled and complete within. You're happy, you have joy, you have inner peace. You have all the qualities that you would desire in this life. Imagine that person pouring into everyone else, and that person, trying to make the lives of everyone else better and trying to uplift everyone else, right? And I want you to ask yourself, which one of those person would you rather be? Which one of those people do you think will be more effective in the world? Which one of those people do you think will show up in the world and make a huge difference? Really ask yourself that question. I think it was Aristotle that said, or I think Aristotle said it, but Meister Eckhart said it as well, when he said that we need to focus more on who we're being rather than what we're doing. And I believe that is such a profound statement, because when we focus so much on what we're doing, we never really take the moment to really tune into who we're being. Right? You can try to do good from a broken place, but then are you really sharing happiness? Are you really sharing joy? When you focus more on becoming that person that is happy, becoming that person that is fulfilled, becoming that person that is joyful, then you realize that you can begin to share that with the rest of the world. You can begin to share that with the people around you, but you will never be able to share true joy from a place of brokenness. You'll never be able to fill, pour into someone else's cup until you fill your own. And I believe that we need to get to a place in which we're operating from beyond 100%, right? We need to operate from a place in which our cups are not at 100, but our cups are at like 120. And what I mean by that is that you need to be at 100 to be able to be efficient for yourself. And then the other 20% that is left over, you can begin to pour that into the world and into the people around you, into your loved ones, into your friends, into your purpose that you can, use to change the world and affect the lives of other people. But at the end of the day, it all comes from within you, right? Your first relationship or your main relationship is the one that you have with yourself. And if you place your happiness and your contentment and your joy on the back burner and you put everyone else in front of you, then you are of no use to everyone else. Right? How can you pour into people when you have not poured into yourself? How can you change the lives of other people when you haven't even changed your own life? You see how absurd that is? Most of us go to the world broken, right? Most of us go to the world empty. We go to the world and we put on this mask. We put on this perception, right? We project this persona onto the world. But deep down, that is a facade. Deep down, that's not what is truly within us. We're just doing, we're not being. And I believe that we need to get to a place in which we become whatever it is that we want to give to the world. If you want to share happiness, become happiness. If you want to share love, become love. If you want to share joy, become joy. Right? You realize that everything comes from you. And this is why I made my channel about self-love, because I believe that self-love transcends everything else. I believe that if everyone take the moment to really love themselves, to really cultivate self-love, to prioritize themselves, to put themselves first, then they will begin to show up in the world in a way in which they can pour into everyone else, because they realize that they are connected to everyone else. But we think we have too many broken people in this world who are so focused on doing, are so focused on acting, are so focused on putting on a facade, right? That they have not taken a moment to really cultivate that self-love and that joy and that peace and that fulfillment that is within them, right? And the thing about it is that happiness cannot be found in compromise. Joy cannot be found in compromise. And when I say compromise, I'm not talking about you sharing your food with someone who's hungry. Are you giving someone else a ride? Or are you doing something for someone else? That's not the compromise I'm talking about. That in itself is just being a good person. The compromise I'm talking about is neglecting yourself, placing your desires to the side, placing your needs to the side, placing your happiness to the side, right? To, in a sense, place someone else in front of you. That is the type of compromise that I'm talking about. And sure, there might come a time in our lives when, for example, maybe we have kids where we need to put our kids first because they're not, grown enough to fend for themselves. Maybe then, we'll need to compromise. Maybe then we'll need to, put them before us, right? But in this grand scheme of things, life requires you to put yourself first. Then you can cater to someone else, right? There are a lot of people in this world who are so unhappy, so broken, right? So empty. And they show up in the world with that brokenness, right? They put on a mask and they show up in the world, but deep down there's nothing here. It's empty right here, right? And they've been taught that they have to act for everyone else. You don't have to act for everyone else. Take some time to put yourself first. You are of no use to anyone unless you are of use to yourself. You cannot pour into anyone else until you pour into yourself. And we really need to get to a place in which people really begin to realize that everything comes from within them, right? And being, or prioritizing yourself doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you human, right? Putting yourself first, if you want to call it selfish, sure, but I believe that selfishness isn't always a bad thing. I actually believe that you have to be selfish first before you can become selfless. in the sense that you have to realize that in order for you to pour into the world, you need to first pour into yourself, right? You need to prioritize you. Ask yourself, what do I want? What do I need? What do I desire? Ask yourself these things. And so I see all this to say, you don't need to sacrifice yourself. You don't need to be a sacrificial lamb in your own story. Life is about you. What do you want from this world? What do you desire? What do you need? You didn't come on this earth to, you didn't come, on this earth and you come in fulfilled and you come in whole for you to leave feeling empty. Right? You didn't come on this world to, remain broken. You came to rediscover who you are, to ascend, to elevate, to love yourself, to become a source for yourself, and in becoming a source for yourself, you become a source for the world. But you never become that source until you put yourself first. Don't let other people shame you into feeling as if you're a bad person for putting yourself first. No. Don't allow them to do so. A lot of people are energy vampires. A lot of people don't want to see you happy. Believe it or not, a lot of people get fulfillment from seeing you empty. Don't give them that power. And if you have people in your life who want you to sacrifice your happiness and your well-being for their fulfillment, for their appeasement, then I genuinely believe you need to reevaluate the people that you have in your life. Rethink those people. Not everyone that is blood you need to call family. Right? Not every friend that you've known for a while is still your friend. Reevaluate the relationship that you have around you. And you need to realize that the people that are for you, the people who love you, they want you to put yourself first. Because they realize that unless you put yourself first, unless you show up for you, then you cannot show up for everyone else. And you cannot show up for this world. So prioritize you. Put yourself first. Put your happiness first. Right? Learn to love yourself. Cultivate that self-love. Whatever you're missing in this moment, work on those things. And then you realize that life is a beautiful place. Because once you change your perception of life, through changing how you treat yourself, then your life will change and your outer reality will reflect that. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for even clicking on this video if you did. Well, obviously, if you're watching this, you obviously clicked on the video, but thank you. And I appreciate it. And I hope y'all really continue to take care of yourselves. Right? Take care of yourself. Peace and blessings.